You are now listening to Sir Inc.'s The Experience Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything kink. Now, this podcast is only catered to those that are 18 and above and may not be suitable for work, or as we like to say, NSF. But remember, you can always listen to us during your private time. Hello, kinky and kinkers folk out there. My name is Sir Inc. What's good, everybody? Let's jump right into my topic. And my topic is about hard truths, saying them and receiving them. And we all have heard the cliches, that's a hard pill to swallow, the truth hurts, so on and so on. But the reality about the truth, not only is it hard to receive it, it's hard to give it. And it takes a person of a certain intestinal fortitude to be truthful about who they are and what they think. It takes a very skillful person to be a person who is living their truth, who is being who they are, and who is very confident in telling you who they are truthfully. They are very skilled in a way of knowing when to interject that and when not to interject that. Like at work, you may not be able to be like that, right? But at home, you can be all the way out and be like that. So my point in all this is I need to start with us men because of our conquest of women. We are more prone to lie because the truth is very boring. It's very, it's not as acceptable in today's society. Even though not everybody, though many people are doing it, it's widely unacceptable. And it's only unacceptable because of the mindset of people before us. And so a little history on that. Prior to the late 1800s, when people started writing about romance and things of that nature, relationships were more pragmatic. Relationships were more based upon those foundational structured things. I take care of you, you take care of me. Yes, we love each other. But cheating and things like that was not such a thing back then. Whether you feel as though that's fair or not fair has nothing to do with the reality of what some people lived in. And the amazing thing is, in today's world, we don't like none of that stuff. People are still doing it. But there was a time when, not that it was acceptable, it was understood as a hard truth that people had to understand and live through. But yet they kept families together. And when today we don't have to accept that truth, we can ignore that truth. We can act like that truth doesn't even exist. And yet everybody's still doing it. And then we suffer. We break families up over it. No matter who's doing the cheating. Because of course, men are looked at as being cheaters and not women. But we all know people that have cheated who are on both sides of the fence, male and female. But I start with the men because I'm a man and because I believe men need to set the foundation for a relationship. And if you set that foundation up built upon a lie about yourself, who you are, and the things that you truly desire for yourself, the things that you are deserving of, no matter what it is, that lie will be exposed and eventually it can lead to ruin. Or you force someone's hand once you get married or have kids with them to then accept the reality of who you are. And that's disingenuous because even if they do accept it, it's not accepted with free will. It's like accepting that with a gun to your head. Or like, what else can I do? But that creates resentment in someone. And then because I believe in energy between two people, you never want to put something between you and another person because you were not being honest or based off of falsehood. The thing about lies is that you can't always continue the lie without it being exposed by someone. And because we're human beings and we crave interaction with other people, the person who becomes closest to you sees you for who you are. Even though you can try to lie and cover it up, your actions, your energy, your behavior will always reveal who you are. And what they say, are you going to believe me or your lying eyes? And that's why I just think it's bad for men to set foundations built on lies. As a friend once said to me, castles made of sand eventually sink into the sea. And so as men, we need to get back to the core of who we are and what we want. And there's a lot of men that chase women as a conquest, as the only thing they're living for, because they don't have any other focus. Men that have other focuses, men that are focused on building a better life, men that are focused about, what legacy am I going to leave behind? Men that are focused on helping other people be better in life are less prone to lie and play games due to lack of time on their hands. So everything for them needs to be efficient. And lying is just not an efficient way to have a good personal life. It leads to more turmoil. But a man that is not focused on anything replaces that goal with just conquest of women. And to each their own. To each their own. But men such as myself, there's more to life. We understand that women are a part of the game of life. They're always going to be a constant in our lives, no matter if you have one or some, whatever the case may be. We understand that women are a part of our lives. But I don't necessarily know how productive having a bunch of women that you're lying to actually benefits you in the long run. You can only create more kids. You can only create bad situations, bad emotions, and you can live good in moments. But knowing that you're tucking yourself in and making yourself what everybody wants takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy to lie. And I just feel as though I could use that energy to do other things that's going to help people, that's actually going to add to my legacy. So when I'm not here, my kids can talk to their kids and their friends, and my family can speak of the good things that I've done and how a positive influence I was. I don't want them telling stories of how goofy I was over women, because I do have uncles who have that kind of story of how, he's a good guy, but he's always acting goofy over girls. He always has a different girlfriend and some drama and, nonsense. He got his car scratched up and all that. 50 and 60-year-olds out here acting like 20-year-olds. I've just heard stories. Guys getting their cars scratched up, and it's just nonsensical. It's because you're lying. And these are single guys. Single guys lying, getting their cars scratched up, keyed up. Like, who does that? You know who does that? Unfocused men. When I look at the men that are having all these problems with women or with a woman, they have no other focus. They have nothing else that they're focused on. They have a job. They do their job. Every day is like Groundhog Day. And these guys do not have anything that allows them to focus. And this is why a lot of people that are into the Bible, that are Christians, say that it's God first, then man, then the woman, then the children. And man looks to God, the woman looks to the man, the children looks to the mother and the father. And so that structure is there in a way of saying, if a man has nothing else to focus his life on, focus himself on the path to God by the rules and the structure within this framework called the Bible. Whether you agree with that or whether you agree with Islam or Buddha, whatever the case may be, all these things are, if you have nothing else to focus yourself on your spirituality, because those things will lead you to a life of a more disciplined life, a life of less randomness, a life of less goofiness, a life of less wasting energy in unproductive ways. And some people can naturally put a structure around them and have other goals. So you have people that have legacy goals and God goals, goals on their spirituality, but those things lead you to not do goofier stuff and understanding that lies are just unproductive. But to women in today's world who have been over inundated in romance novels, romance movies, romance, it's easier to get online and lie to get a woman than it is to be a truth teller. Because if I told you the truth, I'm not as appealing to a woman. And many women, out of boredom, love to play with men that are liars. They know they're liars, but yet they play the game because somehow they're entangled into this love and romance. It's not even about you as a guy, because any guy could have lied to her just about that she's interested in. Any man can lie to her and play the same game. So how are you special to that woman? I would feel like if I could lie to somebody very easy and get them to be whatever I want them to be, I wouldn't find them valuable. I would find them very expendable, because I don't think what you're saying is about me. The way you love me, the way you say you love me in this fantasy world that you got going in your head, I feel as though you love the guy before me and you'll love the guy after me. I'm not special if I accept someone who accepts lies. You're not special if you accept lies, knowingly accept lies, knowingly. Or you could be a person like people before romance was written about that understand how people think and how they function, and you accept what you have. Now, there are plenty of people out here who have focuses that do not allow them to entertain lies or say them. There are monogamous people. There are people in polyandry. There are people in all aspects of life and relationships that are very open and truthful communicators. So it's not even about the lifestyle or the relationship style. It's all about you. It's about what you want and how you want to live. If you don't mind living a life of lies and unproductiveness, that's fine. I just don't choose to do that. And the people I want in my life, I don't want them to be dumb enough to accept lies from me. I need accountability. I'm not perfect, but I want people to ask me questions about what I might be thinking if it doesn't match my actions. Because maybe you do change something. Maybe we all change, we grow. And so it's clear, like I did say this before, but now moving in this direction, because I've changed. And this is why I've changed. And if you can't explain yourself, if you're scared to explain yourself, if you're one of those people that you can't be who you are to anyone, that has to be a very lonely place to be in. Yeah, you fill yourself with plenty of distractions called people. And if I'm using this analogy of men to women, you got plenty of girls. But they're just distracting from yourself. What's going on with you is the real question that I know you don't want to sit and figure out, because you have to deal with some hard truths and you have to deal with some pain. But instead of dealing with it yourself, you pass it on to other people in lies. And you just recreate what has been created in you. And that's not fair. And you can be so much better than that. But you have to see it to do it. And unfortunately, not many people are raised to think about anyone but themselves. And we are in America. Well, I am. And there's so much selfishness here. It's just the way it is to have a society that's great. Sacrifices have to be made. Lies have to be told. But at some point, that house of cards, that castle made of sand, will eventually sink back into the sea. But what do you think? Let me know. It's your boy. You know how to find me, Sir INQ, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can always email me at sirinq09@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Until next time, peace.